to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from Toronto at Consensus 2025 by CoinDesk. Joining me for the second, we have Matt Hougan. He is Chief Investment Officer of Bitwise, and we're here to discuss future crypto legislation. Matt, it's great to see you as always.
Thanks for having
Welcome
me.
back to Trade Talks, and I love having you on because you are one of the first people that I've interviewed as it relates to crypto in the more traditional space. And
Yep.
here we are, Bitcoin pushing past 100,000. There's been quite the moves and quite the evolution.
It's been amazing. I think it's gone really fast over the last 6 months. I think you're seeing Bitcoin move firmly into the mainstream. We've seen that from a regulatory perspective, maybe from a legislative perspective, certainly from an institutional investment perspective. You see the flows into ETFs, which have been massive, but I think are accelerating. So yeah, it's been a big change.
Even if you look around, you and I have been covering, or I've been covering Consensus since 2018, and you were there as well. And even just looking around here, you can see how the industry has matured and evolved. Tell us about Bitwise's new iCapital partnership.
Sure. Yeah, we're very excited about that. You know, iCapital is a premier location that financial advisors go to gain access to alternatives in the space. And we're pleased to have one of the first crypto products available in that
Well,
market.
which is interesting because there is so much demand for alternatives in general from financial advisors and retail investors as well.
And for good reason, because traditional 60/40 portfolios haven't been delivering in the way that they've expected in the past, right? The equity markets are very highly valued. People are worried about bonds. They're looking for alternative exposures. So I think that's probably just the tip of the iceberg. I think you're going to see the 60/40 model move to something that's more like 50, 30,
Right.
20 or whatever. Alts are going to take up a bigger and bigger portion. And crypto is one of the more attractive alts from my perspective.
Let's talk about some of the concerns around future crypto legislation. I mean, that really is the next catalyst. It's great that there's products coming out and so forth, but to understand what that operating environment is going to look like is key for continued adoption.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, from a regulatory perspective, we've made enormous strides in the last 6 months. We had a very hostile SEC. Now we have a very supportive SEC. We've seen lawsuits come down. That's been great. But to get to the next level, we do need legislation. There's a stablecoin bill that appears to be stuck a little bit in Congress. Many people expected that to sail through, and it looks like maybe it will make it through, but it's difficult. We're not sure. After that, we need market structure regulation. If crypto is really going to become a mainstream institutional asset, we need that strong legislative footing. I'm still hopeful that we'll get there this year, but I'm a little bit more worried than I was at the start of the year when I thought at least stablecoins would be a slam dunk. It turns out they're not a slam dunk. I think we'll get there, but it's uncertain.
Well, I mean, you don't want to lose this traction with innovation as well. And you don't want that brain drain to continue to go elsewhere. Although, there have been some companies that are moving some stuff back to the US.
Yes,
But
but I think that could accelerate dramatically. If you think about the next phase of crypto, it's institutions moving in and adopting crypto rails to move real world assets, to move dollars, to move stocks and bonds. For that, we need that legislative footing. We need market structure regulation and we need stablecoin legislation. If we get those, I think we're off to the races on a multi-year bull market in crypto. If we don't, I think things could be a little bit choppy for a while.
right, Matt, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade
Thanks for
Talks. And thanks for joining me from Consensus. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.